The Tunnel Between Moments. A Sci-Fi Story. Part 1. Victoria Kessler's breath crystallized in the air as the tunnel walls pulsed around her. Slowly, like the lungs of something sleeping, or waiting. The light was wrong here. It didn't shine so much as drift, suspended in syrupy currents that bent and folded as if time itself were thick enough to touch. "Don't go farther," a voice whispered behind her. She froze. The voice was her own. Not an echo. Not a recording. Her own voice, older, frayed at the edges like a rope pulled too tight for too long. Victoria turned. A figure stood at the mouth of the tunnel, silhouetted against the shimmering threshold that separated the experiment chamber from this impossible corridor. The figure's posture was familiar. The tilt of the head, the slight inward turn of the left foot, even the way the hands hovered near the pockets, ready to fidget, ready to retreat. It was her, but aged, weathered, eyes hollowed by years she hadn't lived yet. "Don't go to the end," the older Victoria said. "Please." The younger Victoria's pulse hammered. "What? How?" "You don't have time," the older version said. "Or maybe you have too much. It's hard to tell anymore." A tremor rippled through the tunnel, a low-frequency vibration that Victoria felt in her teeth. The walls brightened, then dimmed, as if reacting to the presence of two versions of the same person. Behind Victoria, deeper in the tunnel, came a distant sound, like metal dragging across stone. Slow, deliberate. The older Victoria flinched. "It heard you enter." "What heard me?" Her older self stepped back toward the threshold. "Turn around. Leave. Don't look for the others. Don't map anything. Don't." A shadow stretched across the floor behind the older Victoria. Something tall, something thin, something that moved without footsteps. The older Victoria's eyes widened in terror. "Run." Then the shadow swallowed her, and Victoria was alone. Hours earlier? Or minutes? Or years? The briefing room at the Temporal Mechanics Institute buzzed with a nervous energy that Victoria had learned to recognize, the kind that preceded breakthroughs or disasters. Usually both. Dr. Halden paced at the front, his white hair sticking up like he'd been electrocuted by his own equations. "We are not calling it a wormhole," he said for the 5th time. "It is a temporal gradient corridor, a region of space where time flows at a variable rate. Like a river with different currents," Victoria offered. "Exactly, except the currents run in every direction at once." The team, 6 explorers, 2 physicists, 1 medic, sat around the table, each with a tablet displaying the same image, a shimmering, cylindrical distortion suspended inside the containment chamber. The tunnel. Victoria zoomed in on the image. The edges of the tunnel were fractal, folding into themselves like recursive spirals. It hurt to look at for too long. "How stable is it?" she asked. Halden hesitated. "Stable enough." "That's not reassuring," said Jace, the team's medic. "It's the best we have," Halden replied. "And we need to understand it before the government decides to weaponize it." That shut everyone up. Victoria leaned back in her chair. She'd been recruited for her background in spatial mapping and her uncanny ability to stay calm in environments that made other explorers panic. She'd navigated collapsed mines, derelict space habitats, and the labyrinthine ruins beneath old Tokyo. But this was different. This wasn't a place. It was a time, and time didn't like being walked through. The first step. The containment chamber hummed with power. The tunnel floated in the center like a vertical pool of liquid glass, rippling inward instead of outward. Victoria adjusted her suit's temporal stabilizers. "Comms check." "Clear," said Jace. "Clear," said Dr. Halden from the control booth. "Clear," said the rest of the team. Victoria approached the threshold. The air grew colder. Her breath fogged. "Remember," Halden said, 1 minute inside equals approximately 1 year outside. That ratio may shift the deeper you go." "Great," Jace muttered. "So if we get lost, we come back to find everyone dead." "Not helpful," Victoria said. She reached out. Her fingers touched the surface of the tunnel and passed through. It felt like dipping her hand into a stream of warm and cold water simultaneously. A tingling sensation crawled up her arm. She stepped inside. The world snapped. Sound vanished. Light stretched. Her heartbeat slowed, then quickened, then slowed again. The tunnel interior was vast, far larger than the exterior suggested. The walls were translucent, showing glimpses of something. Other times, other versions of the tunnel. She saw shadows moving behind the walls, flickering like candlelight. "Team, report," she said. Silence. "Jace? Halden? Anyone?" Nothing. Her comms were dead. She took a breath and began walking. The first encounter. The tunnel floor was smooth, almost glass-like. Her footsteps echoed strangely, delayed, as if the sound had to travel through molasses. After what felt like 10 minutes, she saw movement ahead. A figure. Human. She raised her hand. "Hello? Are you?" The figure turned. It was Jace, but older, much older. His hair was gray, his face lined with years of exhaustion. "Victoria," he whispered. "You shouldn't be here." She approached slowly. "Jace? How long have you been inside?" He laughed. A broken, hollow sound. "Long enough to forget what sunlight feels like." "What happened to the others?" "They kept going." He pointed deeper into the tunnel. "We all did. First. But the deeper you go, the more the tunnel notices you." Notices. It learns you, copies you, plays you back. Sometimes forward, sometimes backward. Victoria felt a chill. "We came to map it, to understand it." "You can't map something that isn't a place." Jace's eyes darted around. "It's a when, and it's hungry." A tremor rippled through the floor. Jace stiffened. "It's coming. I can't." He dissolved. Not vanished. Not teleported. He dissolved, like a sand sculpture collapsing in slow motion. Victoria stumbled back, heart pounding. The tunnel walls pulsed brighter. Something was waking up. The warning. She ran. The tunnel twisted and curved in ways that defied geometry. Sometimes it sloped upward, sometimes downward, sometimes sideways. Sometimes she felt like she was walking on the ceiling. She didn't know how long she ran before she saw the threshold behind her. The exit. The real world. Safety. And standing in front of it, her older self. "Don't go farther," the older Victoria said. Victoria stared, breathless. "What's at the end?" The older Victoria's face twisted with fear. "Not what. When." A scraping sound echoed behind them. The older Victoria's eyes widened. "It followed me back. It always follows. It wants the version of us that hasn't been broken yet." "What does?" The older Victoria didn't answer, because the shadow behind her stretched, elongated, and swallowed her whole. Victoria screamed. Then the shadow turned toward her. The thing that should not exist. It had no shape, or rather, it had too many shapes, flickering between them like a malfunctioning hologram. Sometimes it looked humanoid, sometimes insectoid, sometimes like a tangle of limbs and eyes, sometimes like a silhouette of Victoria herself. It moved without moving, one moment far away, the next inches from her face. Victoria stumbled backward. "Stay away!" The creature tilted its head, mimicking her posture. Then it spoke. In her voice. "Stay away." Her blood ran cold. It wasn't just copying her voice. It was copying her thoughts. She turned and ran deeper into the tunnel. The creature followed. Not quickly. Not slowly. Just inevitably. The Chamber of Echoes. The tunnel widened into a vast chamber where the walls were covered in shimmering reflections. Hundreds of versions of Victoria, each slightly different. Some older, some younger, some injured, some terrified. One version stepped forward from the wall, becoming solid. "Victoria," she said, "listen to me." "Another future version?" Victoria asked, panting. "No, a parallel one." Victoria blinked. "Parallel? This tunnel doesn't just bend time. It bends possibility." The chamber trembled. The parallel Victoria grabbed her shoulders. You must not reach the end. None of us must. That's where it waits. What is it? A future. A future where we reach the end and become part of it. The scraping sound grew louder. The parallel Victoria shoved her. Run! The creature burst into the chamber. All the reflections screamed. Victoria fled. The loop. She ran until her lungs burned. The tunnel twisted again, narrowing, then widening, then narrowing. She stumbled, caught herself, kept going. Then she saw something ahead. A figure, standing still, watching her. She slowed. The figure stepped forward. It was her. But not older. Not younger. Not parallel. It was her exactly as she was now. Same suit. Same scratches. Same dirt. Same panic in the eyes. The other Victoria spoke first. I've been waiting for you. Victoria's throat tightened. What are you? I'm you, the other said. The version that ran instead of turning left at the chamber. I didn't turn left. I know. The other Victoria smiled sadly. That's why I'm here. The creature's scraping grew louder. The other Victoria stepped aside. This is where the loop begins. What loop? You'll see. The creature appeared behind them. Both Victorias screamed. Both ran. Both split in different directions. And Victoria realized she had already lived this moment, and she would live it again and again, unless she reached the end, unless she broke the loop, unless she faced whatever waited there. She stopped running. She turned toward the deeper tunnel, and she walked. The descent. The deeper she went, the more the tunnel changed. The walls became darker, almost obsidian. The air grew warmer. The light dimmed until she could barely see. Her suit's sensors flickered, then died. Her comms were still silent. Her heartbeat echoed in her ears. Then she heard something else. Whispering. Not behind her. Not ahead. Inside her mind. Come to the end. Come see what you become. She clenched her fists. No. The whispering grew louder. You are already here. You have always been here. You will always be here. She kept walking. The tunnel sloped downward. The air thickened. The whispering became a chorus. Come here. Come here. Come here. Then the floor vanished beneath her, and she fell. Part 2. Victoria fell for so long she forgot what standing felt like. The air rushed past her in strange, uneven pulses. Fast, slow, fast again. As if gravity itself were flickering. Colors streaked around her. Not like light, but like memories smeared across the walls of her mind. Then she hit something. Not hard. Not soft. Something in between, like landing on a trampoline made of fog. She gasped, rolling onto her hands and knees. The floor beneath her shimmered with faint symbols. Spirals, loops, branching lines. They pulsed in time with her heartbeat. Or maybe her heartbeat pulsed in time with them. She stood slowly. The tunnel was gone. In its place stretched a vast circular chamber. The ceiling arched impossibly high, disappearing into darkness. The walls were smooth, metallic, and curved inward like the inside of a colossal sphere. At the center of the chamber stood a pillar of light. It rose from floor to ceiling, shifting through colors she didn't have names for. It hummed with a resonance that vibrated her bones. Victoria took a step toward it. The whispering returned. You made it. You always make it. You never should have made it. She clenched her fists. Show yourself. The whispering laughed. We already have. A figure stepped out from behind the pillar. Victoria's breath caught. It was her. But not older. Not younger. Not parallel. This version was wrong. Her skin flickered like static. Her eyes glowed faintly. Her movements were too smooth, too precise, as if she were being puppeted by invisible strings. Hello, Victoria, the figure said. Victoria backed away. What are you? I'm what you become, the figure said. If you reach the end. Victoria shook her head. No, that's not possible. It is here. The figure stepped closer. When you entered the tunnel, you created a temporal echo, a version of yourself stretched across time. The deeper you walked, the more the tunnel shaped you, molded you, prepared you. For what? To join it. The pillar of light pulsed. Victoria felt a tug in her chest, as if something inside her were being pulled toward the pillar. She staggered. What is that thing? The figure smiled, a perfect, empty smile. It's the end of the tunnel, the point where all timelines converge, the moment where every version of you collapses into one. Victoria's pulse quickened. Why? Because the tunnel isn't a passage. The figure's voice deepened. It's a harvester. The chamber trembled. The pillar brightened. Victoria felt the pull intensify. She dug her heels into the floor. I'm not going into that. You already have, the figure said. In countless timelines, in countless loops, you always reach the end. You always become me. No, Victoria whispered. Not this time. The figure tilted its head. You think you can break the loop? I have to. You can't. The figure stepped closer. Because the loop isn't a trap. It's a destination. The pillar flared. Victoria screamed as the pull yanked her forward. She fell to her knees, clawing at the floor. The symbols beneath her glowed brighter. The whispering became a roar. Join, join, join. The figure knelt beside her. You don't understand, Victoria. The tunnel isn't hunting you. It's becoming you. And you are becoming it. Victoria gritted her teeth. I'm not letting that happen. She forced herself to stand. The pull dragged her forward another step. She pushed back. The figure watched her with mild curiosity. You're resisting. That's new. Victoria took a shaky breath. Tell me how to stop it. You can't. Tell me anyway. The figure sighed. Very well. You want to break the loop? Then you must do what no version of you has ever done. What's that? Turn around. Victoria blinked. What? Turn around. The figure repeated. Walk away from the end. Walk back into the tunnel. Walk all the way to the beginning. That's it. That's impossible. The figure corrected. The tunnel won't let you. It will twist. It will fold. It will show you futures and pasts and possibilities until you forget which one is yours. Victoria steadied her breath. I'll take my chances. The figure stood. You won't make it. Watch me. Victoria turned. The pull from the pillar weakened slightly. She took a step. The chamber flickered. She took another step. The floor rippled like water. She took a third step. The chamber shattered. The corridor of futures. Victoria found herself back in the tunnel. But it wasn't the same. The walls were darker, the air thicker, the light dimmer, and the shadows were alive. They moved along the walls like ink in water, forming shapes. Humanoid, insectoid, monstrous, familiar. One shadow stepped forward. It was Jace. Not the old Jace she'd seen earlier. A younger one. A version she recognized from the day they'd first met. Victoria, he said softly. Don't go back. She swallowed. You're not real. Real enough, he said. Real enough to warn you. I'm breaking the loop. You can't. I can try. Jace's shadow flickered. If you go back, you'll see things you're not meant to see. Like what? Yourself. I've already seen myself. Not like this. The tunnel trembled. Jace stepped aside. Go then. But don't say I didn't warn you. Victoria walked past him. The shadows whispered. Turn back. Turn back. Turn back. She ignored them. The corridor of past. The tunnel shifted. Suddenly she was walking through memories. Her childhood bedroom. Her university lab. The day she joined the institute. The night she signed up for the experiment. Each memory played out around her like a hologram. In one, she saw herself sitting at her desk, staring at the recruitment message from Dr. Halden. You shouldn't have said yes, the memory Victoria whispered. Victoria kept walking. In another, she saw herself arguing with her father about taking dangerous jobs. You never listen, he said. Victoria kept walking. In another, She saw herself standing at the threshold of the tunnel for the first time. "You don't know what you're stepping into," the past Victoria said. Victoria paused. "I know now," she whispered. She walked on. The corridor of possibilities. The tunnel twisted violently. Victoria stumbled, catching herself against the wall. The surface rippled beneath her touch, showing glimpses of alternate lives. A version of her who never joined the institute. A version who became a teacher. A version who died young. A version who lived to old age. A version who never stepped into the tunnel. Each possibility flickered like a candle in the wind. One version stepped out of the wall. This Victoria looked peaceful, content, older but not broken. "You don't have to go back," the peaceful Victoria said. "You can stay here, become one of us, live 1,000 lives." Victoria shook her head. "That's not living. It's more than you'll get outside. Maybe, but it's not mine." The peaceful Victoria smiled sadly. "Then go. But know this, breaking the loop means losing everything you've seen, everything you've learned, everything you've become." "I know. Do you?" Victoria hesitated. Then she nodded. The peaceful Victoria stepped aside. "Then go." The return. The tunnel narrowed. The air grew colder. The light brightened. Victoria felt the pull of the real world ahead. She walked faster. The walls pulsed. The shadows screamed. The whispering became a roar. "You cannot leave. You are part of us. You are the loop." Victoria ran. The threshold appeared ahead, a shimmering curtain of light. She sprinted toward it. The tunnel shook violently. The creature appeared behind her. It lunged. Victoria dove through the threshold. The beginning again. She hit the floor of the containment chamber hard. The alarms blared. Dr. Halden shouted, "Shut it down! Shut it down now!" The tunnel collapsed behind her, imploding like a dying star. Victoria gasped, rolling onto her back. Jace rushed to her side. "Victoria, are you okay?" She stared at him. He was young, whole, alive. "How long was I gone?" she whispered. Jace checked the timer. 47 seconds. Victoria laughed. A broken, relieved sound. Halden knelt beside her. "What did you see?" Victoria closed her eyes. "Too much. Did you reach the end?" She opened her eyes. "No," she said. "And we're never going back." Halden frowned. "We need to understand." "No," Victoria said firmly. "Seal the chamber. Destroy the equipment. Erase the data." "Victoria, do it." Halden hesitated. Then he nodded. The team moved quickly, shutting down the systems, sealing the chamber, locking away the tunnel forever. Victoria stood slowly. Her legs trembled. Jace steadied her. "What happened in there?" Victoria looked at him, at the world, the time itself. "It wasn't a tunnel," she said softly. "It was a mirror." "A mirror of what?" "Of everything we could become," she said. "And everything we shouldn't." Jace swallowed. "Is it over?" Victoria looked at the sealed chamber, at the faint shimmer of residual light, at the shadow that flickered across the glass for just a moment. "No," she whispered. "But we're out of the loop now." She turned away, and the shadow behind the glass tilted its head, just like she did. This is the end of the sci-fi story, The Tunnel Between Moments. Leave a like if you enjoyed the story, and subscribe for more sci-fi stories. Thanks for listening.